would you describe your relationship as volatile? Was it ever violent?
I don't believe it was ever violent.
Was another man. And is it fair to say that you believe that Stacy right now is with that other man?
She never told me she was seeing another man. She, well, maybe she did. But I believe she's with somebody else right now.
Another reason there's so much attention being paid to you, Mr. Peterson, is because of the circumstances surrounding the death of your third wife,
Sure.
Kathy Savio. She drowned in her bathtub, according to the report at the time, an accidental drowning back in 2004. However, at the time, there was no water in the bathtub. Her hair was matted with blood, and apparently there was a 1-inch gash on the back of her head. Now state officials are saying that it looks like an accident staged to cover a murder. What was your impression at the time she died? Did you think it was an accident?
I was one of the first people there, and I was actually the watch commander of our town at the time that it happened. And I went ahead and met with her best friend because I haven't seen her for a couple of days, which was very unlike her to not be seen or heard from. So I was planning the next day to go into her home, with her neighbor and see if she was okay. But her neighbor was upset, and her best friend was upset, same person, and she wanted to go in that night. So we called the locksmith, went into the house. I didn't go in the house. I waited outside. Her friend.
Why didn't you go in the house?
Kathy was always accusing me of things. Like, she didn't want me in the house ever because she was afraid I was going to steal something.
You're a police officer.
Right.
You're the watch commander.
Right.
I mean, and
Exactly.
it's your job to investigate crimes if they've committed.
That was Kathy. That was Kathy.
You just wouldn't go in the house.
So when I heard screaming, I went inside, and there
What did
she
you
was,
see?
dead in the bathtub.
And did it look like an accidental drowning to you at that time?
I felt I don't know if she was dead or alive, so I felt her pulse, and being a policeman, I basically didn't want to touch anything or disturb anything.
Sure. End this half hour and ask you to just, you're a police officer. You've probably said this to other people that you've investigated over the years. Can you look me straight in the eye and tell me that you had nothing to do with the death of your third wife, Kathy, or the disappearance of your fourth wife, Stacy?
I can look right in your eye and say I had nothing to do with either of those incidences.
You know the law, Mr. Peterson. You know that if somehow you're deemed to be involved in the death of Kathy Savio or the disappearance or perhaps even death of Stacy, you face either life in prison or the potential for the death penalty.
Correct.
Have you thought about it?
Yes. And it's a frightening thing, but my family's provided for. My kids will be okay. They're with my brother and sister-in-law and my son, and I can go in peace if that happens.
And if Stacy is out there, as you say, where she wants to be, perhaps with another man, perhaps even watching this interview, what would you say to Stacy, your fourth wife?
Come home. Tell people where you are. And that's all I can say.